Your daily market review for Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, your daily market review for Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. Hopefully you're having a good day. As we talked about, its options expiration, the volatility is picking up, but also pulling back, meaning choppiness with the potential upside trajectory after we are in the oversold position, as we talked about. Levels held, you got some bounce, you had some earnings today, you had some CPI data, which again came in line. Inflation is still sticky over 3%. Bank earnings, the perception of them was good. The market reaction, again, is all that really matters. They took them up. And so we need to update some trades. We need to talk about what to expect. And just remember, trade the extremes during options expiration. So if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room link description below. If you need any help, Calendly link. Love to chat. Take 30 minutes. Let's hang out. Let's talk. If you're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate, and you do not hit me up and you're following this channel, you're one of the 2,300 people, I'm going to reach through the screen and slap you. You get 2 agents for the price of 1. You get the help for negotiation. Also, too, we really strategize a really good plan for you so that when you're prepared to buy, sell, you know what you need to do. And again, don't work with your Uncle Bobby or your Aunt Sally to do big transactions. You want professionals. Again, if you got into a car wreck, you had issues with medical wise, you wouldn't go to a discount anything. You want the best. So let me know how I can help. Love to be involved. Also follow, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on YouTube and Twitter. I appreciate it. If you want to donate to the channel, link description below, or you can hit the thanks button. Again, there's tons of information on the website as well, but also the channel's different playlist on YouTube. Do not hesitate to reach out. I'm telling you, there's some really good stuff here. A lot of people think they're in this alone. The reality is you are not. Again, look at all the resources on the website. Check it out, check it out, check it out. Also a new video, $1.5 million house. Friend is listing in my neighborhood, wanted to showcase it. If you want to buy, you holler at your boy. All right, we know CME, Fed Fund Futures coming up. As of right now, we have a meeting on the 29th. They ain't doing stuff, ain't doing much. Eric reminded me again today, if you go look at the Fed Fund Futures through the whole year, you're only expecting one more rate cut. If you do get a rate cut at this point, it's because the economy is doing what? In the pooper. All right. Bitcoin, we talked about, seems to be holding support. At this point, it's a big choppy range. I know bulls get really excited on every up day and then depressed on every down day. But the reality is, after big moves, what did it lead to? Consolidation. We're in a consolidation channel at this point. You know the low, you see the high, see what happens. Oil, speaking of, holding up really dang well. Interesting reaction post CPI data. Again, we've always said long-term, these levels matter. If the recession kicks in at some point, which again, it looks like it will, it's just a matter how deep it is and what will the feds and government end up doing. But they can't like it that oil continues to rally, because now if oil's up, 20% in 2 weeks? Yeah, CPI data came in from last month. How do you think it's going to hold up, or how do you think CPI is going to look next month if oil is rallying, right? Same thing, natural gas holding up pretty well. These guys can't be sitting here like happy. Can't be going, oh, great. 3.5% inflation rate is not the 2% target that they all love to celebrate. So knowing that, looking forward, ten cuidado. Again, bond market, we need to get into that because we'll get there in a second. Dollar, we talked about the dollar, just not really trading, but watching for volatility. It's holding up really well post ex-div. The TLT, you're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Said watch the 85 level. We said there's probably a trade down here. Ding, ding, dong. There was. Fill the gap. Look at that thing. It's simple. Support equals resistance. Levels matter. We held it yesterday. We talked about it. But again, you had to have, this would have been a harder trade. It's like going into earnings, betting on what would have happened. But it made sense if you wanted to take a little stab. Now, near term, this is where it gets a little tricky if you're looking to follow up and add. I would be patient. I would see how we hold the 8 and 10 day. Right? Because could we retest? Absolutely. This thing's known for choppy tops. And if it's not choppy, it's a little extreme. But, the patterns are repeating, in my opinion. And again, if the bond market gets bought, rotation's coming out of something. Keep that in mind. What is it going to be? My guess is out of tech, because that's where all the cash is. That's where all the capital will be sitting. The VIX, as we talked about, needed to close over the mid-19s to really confirm any monster upside in VIX or downside of the market. We could never close above it. So what happened? Pulled back right to support resistance. Posted this today, said, hey, if you're looking to short now, right, take advantage of the pop in the market, look at the VIX, right? Look how it's acting coming into support. VIX, same kind of thing. Rate of change or the rate of change should make a higher low here around the 200-day. Keep an eye on it. SPY talked about, hey, if the market pops, where could it go? We said fill the gap, 20-day, 50-day, support equals resistance. It's amazing how these zones repeat. No, it's not. The market has memory, right? That's why you use volume at price, so you can watch where people be acting. Where are they acting? Acting a fool in these areas. 590s, keep an eye on it. Now, near term, this is what I thought would happen last week. It's like we get this pop up and then chop, but we didn't hold. I'd be curious to see if we can hold, maybe even test that 50-day for a day or two. I don't know. We'll see. QQQ. I mean, again, if you're shorting, define your risk. If you're going long, roll up your stops. Keep it simple, stupid. QQQ, which is the laggard out of all of them, 20-day makes sense. Fill in the gap. Again, people always assume in up and down trends that things go in one direction. Look at these uptrends. Chop, pop, chop, 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 pop, chop, 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 chop. What can be said by the same thing, the token, if you're going down? Drop, chop, 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 pop, chop, chop, fail. Does it make sense? Okay, repeat that sequence back. Thanks. IWM, we talked about this has been the laggard. You want to see small caps leading. We talked about the 200-day, held it, chopped and popped right back to support equals resistance. Notice the red candle today. Look at the top of the VAP zone. You see it. We'll see what happens here. I mean, at worst, it's going to chop here. If it's going to go higher, it might take a day or two. That's what that basically, in my opinion. My strong, educated opinion. DIA hits support. I mean, this is why we draw these things. Again, that's why you also don't bring a ruler, because it doesn't have to be exact, but look at it. Holds the 418 level. Yeah. Bounce. Nice. Gold. This is interesting because the bond market rallied. Where did money flow back into? It's gold. Breaking the downtrend, but again, we've talked about there's been downtrends before that have broken, that have given back up. I personally would, again, long term, you come back a year from now and then you do the daily market recap for January 15th, 2026. We're going to be seeing probably gold with a 3 handle. Near term, that's where it gets a little sloppy. You did get some of the rally in silver, which we'd like to see to confirm this stuff, right? But it's still lagging like a mofo. Same thing with the miners. On a day where the market's just crushing it higher, you would think the GDX and GDXJ would be up like 3, 4, 5%. Barely up 1%, 0.5%, 1%. Yeah. No bueno. No bueno. Again, you want to see them lead, not lag. AEM, 40 cents. No. Not what you would think. AG, you would think it would be up 20 cents. Down 4%. Why? Again, somebody knows something. If gold and silver are about to lift, the miners are the leverage version of those commodities. If people are selling those things, again, it's not, and people being big money, look at the volume. Somebody knows something, right? They're looking to liquidate for a reason, for later potential action, or they're manipulating the stock action to get it lower. Either way, they ain't taking it higher at the moment. So you got to give it pause. Newmont, this one's been a absolute dog. Not surprised getting a little bounce here today. Coming back into the next, look to the left. When in doubt, look left. You see what I'm talking about. Pass. Man, silver miners got nothing today. Why? I don't know. Like, even looking at the silge. Look at that. Pops, give us all back. No bueno. Let's get into tech, because this is where the wreck comes in time, in my opinion. Taiwan Semi has earnings after the close. Mañana in the afternoon. Mañana tarde. Yeah, this is, again, first mouse gets the trap, second gets the cheese. I would be just watching this, see what happens, reaction. If we retest up near the highs, man, what if we even hit 230 for that fib extension? I would absolutely take a short on that mother. Micron, we talked about this one, just chopping around. Near term, I mean, it's just kind of following the market. Keep an eye on it. AM Dizzle, nothing. Chop, chop, fizz, fizz, what a relief it is. I mean, this thing's a dog. It's got the middle finger formation on the hand here. It's an ugly one. We'll see. I mean, this is the thing. You get oversold near term. You go from 176 down to 113. You're going to get some bounces along the way. NVIDIA, talked about this being the short of 2025. Everyone's like, oh, this is going. I mean, I still have folks that I'm going, You look at the future. I mean, they're the future of chips. I'm like a $3 trillion valuation, which makes them at this point, they might be the second most valuable company in the world. When chips are literally a commodity, think of like chocolate chips. Anyone can make chips. That in time, whatever NVIDIA is making will be duplicated, will be ripped apart, will be copied. Their margins will narrow. No, you got to be careful. This thing's gone on a monster run. As we talked about shorting at the double top, nailed it on a day where the market again popping. This thing's barely up. Why? Someone knows something. SMCI, meaning someone knows, get the fuck out. Oops, excuse my language. I don't think this is supposed to be child friendly. Sorry, mom. SMCI, chopping around. We talked about this company. Their auditor quit, and then they said their books are good. What do you do with that, right? I mean, watch it, but I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Intellectual property, more like non-intellectual. We talked about you could play the trade here for a bounce. I mean, this thing is just a turd. It's gone from what? 52 down to 19. Okay. You've got a range here. For the bull's sake, for all the comments that I hate I've gotten over the last year, I hope for once you're right here and it does bounce clear and easy double bottom. I guess it did it here too, but does it actually have any legs? Do you have any legs? We'll see. SMH, we talked about the 200-day holding. Okay. Worth and a watch. Adobe, things you don't see if the market was strong. I mean, you would think Adobe would be flying. This thing's gotten shredded. Yeah, I mean, oversold bounce. The fruit, look at Apple. We talked about this blow off top. Talked about holding the 230s, holding the 100-day. Ding, 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 ding. So far, so good. Near term, this is the thing, right? 50-day seems to be resistance. I'd be watching the 8 and 10-day. I'd be watching 240s. If you got up to the 240s, please ring me. You know, fax me a letter letting me know, because then I'll short. I think 241s for a short makes sense there, right? Send a telegram. Send the Ravens. I was going to say slap your grandmother, but I don't think that really makes a difference. It would make a big difference. Amazon, 20-day. This thing's been on a roll. It's starting to getting into this consolidation phase. Amazon 20-day has been important, but didn't really give a shit there. I'd be watching 225. Keep an eye on it. Meta. Love the short, up at the highs. Zuckerberg bent the knee, kissed the ring, whatever. That priced in clearly. Somebody knew something. Stock went from 100, what was this thing at? $86. Now it's up at 615, and I've got the public going, oh, it's time to buy. Zuckerberg's working with Trump. It's like, did you not see the stock? Did you look left? Thing's up 1,000%, and you want to buy it now? At worst, it's going to be consolidation. At best, consolidation. At worst, this thing could get, fib smash. Let's run the fib on this again. I'm just curious, sitting here thinking about it. Look at these old ones. I mean, how many people are getting excited to buy right now? It's like, are you high out of your mind? I'm like, what are y'all smoking? I mean, like, that must be that good Colorado crusty herb. All those crystals. Yeah, look at support resistance lining up. Okay. Yeah, chopping around again. If you shorted the 630s, you're probably in a good position. You're down a couple, 15, 20 points, but see what happens here. Again, OPEX makes it really hard. With options expiration, remember, they're trying to kill the most amount of options. So there's going to be up and down to basically destroy all the gamblers this week. CRM, we talked about this one being toast, pulling back, pops a little bit, everyone gets excited, whatever. Guggenheim, they got the next level chips, Quantum 2, whatever. High and tight is good. We've talked about this one. Looks better than a lot of these stocks. Microsoft, just keep an eye on it, because if it gets over that 200 level, Goog could probably start ripping again. This one looks like looks like pain, right? Looks like a EKG that's just gone nuts. Keep an eye on it. That one's hard. NDAQ, again, if you're short this one from the highs, you feel pretty good about it. Look at today's action. We talked about the Nasdaq exchange will not have the volumes that they once had in the future, and the market priced in everything is good and golden. Now it only can see downside potential. Again, it's not going to be a straight line, but watch the 100-day, got the bounce. MicroStrategy, this one's tough. I really don't have I have a feel for it, but I'd be waiting to buy if you like Bitcoin. Again, if you like Bitcoin, you got to wait, in my opinion. But if it breaks out, MicroStrategy could pop back. It's one of those ones that's in a funky spot, because it definitely blew off. Netflix and Spill, looking like it. Chop top, rounded top after a huge move. Not saying that it has to get destroyed, but it looks like it's going into what? Chop factor, pullback zone, whatever you want to call it. Folks just, again, they always think straight line moves. are good for the stock. I'm like, no, after a big move, the straight line move is the end of the J curve, the exponential move, and that's when profits get taken. People go, oh, it doesn't look like they're dumping. It's like, again, imagine if you had a inventory. Do you want to sell it into strength, endless strength, or do you want to sell it at the lows? The obvious answer is obvious. You want to sell it into strength. If things rally, you need to be taking profits. Oh, but I don't know what the exact high is. Well, no one else does either. That's why they sell in pieces. Risk management, not all or nothing trading, which is so dumb. Roblox holding up pretty well. Keep an eye on it. Pan W, again, I like cybersecurity names. I like this name a lot. Held the 200-day. Again, waiting for just in general market sloshage. Tesla, look at this son of a biscuit, right? We talked about this thing going into the chop mode. No one listens. Everyone gets all frustrated. Oh, you're biased. I'm like, no, don't be a dumbass. Stock goes from 80 up to 480. Well, I'm just going to ride it out. Okay, and here we are in the chop zone. But look at today's action. Again, this is what we talked about. If you bought the dip, you could trade around your positions. But if you're sitting here holding all of your shares, you're just going, well, I hope it goes to new highs. That's not a plan. Hope is not a plan. Keep an eye on it, though. If we can get over this 428, 430 area, it might have a pop to higher highs. Insight, again, this biotech will get bought out. Great numbers, great potential. No folks that are working there and doing well. Keep an eye on it. Palantir. This thing been on fire. Speaking of just ripping. Oh, the straight line move. This is in the top. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Now we go from 85 down to 65, and you're going, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Well, watch the 50-day. I mean, this thing is due to pull back, right? When you think about like a marathon runner, you run a really long race, you're going to get tired. And when you get tired, you go into the chop zone, or you pull back and it can get heavy. You get real tired. You have no momentum. Go actually negative. You have to sit your ass down. McDonald's 200-day. We talked about this one. I mean, their margins are paper thin. DKNG, man, I think I posted at the high and someone hit me up and was like, you dumbass, told you this was going to rally back. I mean, I'm not going to screenshot to embarrass them this morning, but look at this. Talked about looking at the mid 41s would be like a gift if we got there. Look at that freaking candle. I mean, it's like you walk away and it just, bleh, someone puked all over it. So again, I think whether you believe in sports gambling or not as a industry, it doesn't matter. The margins and the growth rates are what matters. And these things priced in endless growth. Now, if you go into slower economy, inflation, and people are struggling, they talk about the stock is done, in my opinion. It's just how painful does it get. A lot of people get mad about this one. Again, I don't care. I'm just going to be honest. And look at that action. If you shorted that pop, gotcha, bitch. Airbnb, chopping around. Costco seems to be the 1,000 level, as we talked about, was the celebration of new highs after the exponential move up. Everyone getting excited. They're selling gold bars. Everything. Costco can't lose, right? Right? No. Now we're at the 100-day. Not surprised. We talked about this like this week. It's probably going to be in a sideways action. Just don't overthink it. Starbucks, they stole Chipotle CEO, got the bounce. We talked about they're going to have to prove their numbers. It's gone nowhere since. Literally 3 months of flatlining. You have better odds of making money selling grass. FedEx, we talked about this one, double bottom, near term, 100-day. I'd be still watching this 280. Well, I mean, I guess I did say 280, but 280s. Caterpillar, meow. Look at this thing, right? Chop top. Breaks the 200-day, traps out bears, rallies back. I mean, I'm setting the alarm right there. 383. If we don't get over the 50-day, I don't want to touch it. But it might be one of those ones they short arm. Short arming's hard because then you don't know for sure. And that's why, again, you can't bring a ruler to trading. If you knew the exact price, that's the thing. People are like, oh, I think it's going to hit that price. Like, you don't know shit. You can guess with probabilities, but you don't know the highs, the lows. If you knew the exact highs and lows, man, you'd be a billionaire. That would be cool. DE, we talked about this one. Nice bounce. Look at that. Man, open. That is an engulfing bar. Nom, 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 nom. Pac-Man. Nucor. Again, we like commodities. I love commodities. I mean, anyone who's owning tech long-term is going to get throttled. These are the names I want to own, but I don't want to chase them. Let them get pounded. X, same kind of thing. U.S. Steel, this will get bought out at some point. VALE, this thing's going to get cheap. It could get cheaper. I wonder what the dividend yield is on this, right? Their dividend was, they cut their dividend significantly. It's about damn time. There you go. Smart. No wonder it got cooked. That one's interesting. After you cut a dividend after a big down move, it's usually the bottom. Usually meaning how long? I can't tell you when. I'd say days, months. You find the middle. I don't know. Arrow, love junior copper names. Love them. Look at this thing. It's gotten pounded. Let it chop out. CCJ, again, everyone loves uranium. Makes sense. I mean, if you're going to be building a bunch of power plants. But the problem is uranium prices are at 13-month lows. Don't be surprised when Goldman Sachs upgrades the highs. That means you sell. And if you did, you're doing all right here, taking profits. It's down about 25%. I'd still expect it to come in. CF, Jay Solstice, appreciate on the Discord room, posting a bunch of call buys, being call buyers, big volume. That looks the best out of all the ag names. Mosaic, have some fluoride, would you? Chopping around at the lows. NTR, this is the old Agrium, if you're familiar with that. Keep an eye on it. AA Aeron, we love aluminum. Love aluminum. Aluminum's going to go in everything too. But look at this big chop zone. Let it play out. Let them beat the shiznit out of it. XLF, let's get into this one because look at the pops here today. Talked about holding the 100-day, the backside of the trend line. We did. We got the pop today. Look at where we're at. Sorry, I'm trying to not. There we go. Exactly. Keep an eye on it. I think these make sense to short because I was looking at the IB today, watching the IBs come down the financials. If you wanted to sell calls, you could have at the open. And if you want to buy puts, you probably need to wait a little bit. That's what I'd be doing. JP Mo, again, they're not buying back their own stock. Why would you? Look at this candle today. This is wild. What did I say in the market recap list? It'd be like, it'd be a gift if you got a double top. Hello, Raggy. There you go. Keep an eye on it. I mean, that's the thing. I'd be pounding puts on this thing at some point. Morgan Stanley, same thing. Stanley Morgan. Who holds all the bags of the economic pain to come? Potential, right? Again, potential. Never going to, nothing's guaranteed. But who's it going to be? It's going to be the banks, guys. It's going to be the banks. There's a reason why they're actually not buying back their stock. I'm telling you, man. Oop. Throwing the mic around like we're mad. No. Bank of America earnings tomorrow morning. Keep an eye on this. Again, these bank earnings, it looks like buy the rumor, sell the news. Look at Goldman Snacks. We talked about double top. There you go. Booyakasha. Carry. Choppy. Yeah. 50-day. Look at that. I mean, dude, you can't make this shit up. High volume highs and high volume lows act like magnets. There you go. Look at that. Keep an eye on it. You know the levels. That's why you watch the videos. Damn, this video is going long. XBI, chopping. Chop. Holding the bottom of the range. We'll see. Housing stocks definitely got a bounce today with lower rates. We talked about them being oversold. We talked about them doing a due to bounce. Look where it got to. The 200-day. Dunk. Man, it hit it like a wall, backed off. Solar. Chop. Again, there's nothing here for solar in the near term. Oil prices going higher helps. But this current administration ain't going to be pushing solar. Europe's turning over. We'll see. Just keep an eye on this stuff. HYG, corporate debt. I mean, nice pop today. You got to be high out of your mind to buy corporate debt, in my opinion, especially if there are economic weaknesses potential to come. Again, just keep an eye on it. It's just in a no man's land. Oil, again, this has got to be killing the feds. Look at that breakout to new high. UNG, hate this product. We talk about trying to go quicker. Not bad. We'll see. The best trade was shorting up here. Look at this. Talked about it. 80s. You got the 80 down to 31 today. That is a hell of a short. Remember, this is a decaying product. Perfect. Wait for bounces now. I would take profits too. We'll see if anyone listens. XOP. Talked about this getting tired up here. And again, rolling up stops or taking some profit or a little bit of both. This is what I don't like is at highs gaps. Gaps are usually exhaustive. Keep an eye on that. Again, long term, you're probably going to be fine. Near term, prepare for, chop or drops. And if it goes higher, cool. I mean, again, think about probabilities. Like if I was going to break it down, it's like odds of going higher, 20%, the odds of chopping, 50%, the odds of pulling back a decent amount are 30%, right? So the odds are now in the favor for what? Pulling back, chop. CVE, chopping, Bolero. Gasoline names. We talked about them due to bounce. Man, I got to sneeze it. Chopping. Keep it on it. ExxonMobil. This is another one that looks like it should be cooking, and it finally got over 110. That's why I'd be watching. BP. We've talked about this one. If you bought this down here in the 29, 28, looking good. 100-day. This is what we talk about. Straight line, you get the pullback. Now, let's see what happens. You get the follow through. That would be big time for it. Occidental. Buffett ain't losing on this one. We talked about this pullback. You got action. EQT. Congrats again. I think Jay Sol's another bomb idea. talked about, the calls were being bought on this. I like this long term. This could be a big, massive breakout. If it is, man, it can go higher. Last but not least, Flex, L, and Jizzle. Again, I think we'll be natural gas exporters with 11% dividend yield. Can't go wrong. Keep an eye on it. All right. Have any questions? Don't hesitate to reach out. Always here. Peace. In the Middle East. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.